for those of you who are just joining for this particular session, welcome. During the intermission, we showcase various upcoming development projects from Concord, and all in different cities. There might have been some visual choppiness in the content on your screen, and if you were experiencing that, I apologize. But at the bottom of the visual content, however, there was the project name and the website at the bottom. And so hopefully by registering, our team members will be able to reach out to you and tell you more about them. I want to take this opportunity to do a quick shout out to our West Coast sales and marketing offices in Vancouver, Calgary, and Seattle, led by Grant Murray and Grace Mann for collaborating with over this Talk On initiative. I also want to thank the Toronto sales and marketing teams for their continued effort in organizing the Talk On initiative. Now, Talk On was curated as a platform to share knowledge in our real estate industry. And the success and the participation from all of you gives us the encouragement to keep on organizing this. And so to that, thank you very much for participating. Without further delay, let me get back to Erin for the third session. Erin? Oh.
Start that again so you can hear what I'm saying. Thank you again for the introduction. Yeah, we're managing lots of things at once. We got 3 different screens and lots of questions coming in. You guys, your participation is really fantastic. So I just want to say thank you to everyone with the really great questions. I'm sorry I can't get to everybody. I'm trying my hardest to answer all that I can in between and also keep us on time. That said, are we ready for the next round? Okay, let's go ahead and turn off our webcams then, Isaac, and I will circle back to you at the end of this one. Sound good? All right, perfect. I just want to do a quick video check too. Can you guys see my screen? Use YouTube to grow your business. And then here's my intro slide. I'm going to do this really fast again because I think most of you have been on with us for the afternoon so that you can just see me and get to know my little face, the woman behind the camera this time around. So let's go ahead and dive in. But before we actually truly dive into YouTube, first of all, I want to say I'm so excited about this presentation. This is really where the next wave of innovation is coming in digital marketing. There's a lot of change happening literally moment by moment. Actually, this morning we had another round of major changes in YouTube, and so some quick last minute editing here today to make sure that I've got the most up-to-date information in your hands. But before I go forward and dive into it, I really want us to actually take a step back and think just for a minute to put things in perspective, especially when it comes to video, because we're all very aware that media consumption has changed drastically over the last 5 years. And then when you really look at it in 10 years or even 20 years, Google's just over 20 years old. It's wild the amount of change that has happened. And surfing the web has really become truly a part of our daily lives. And it's changed pretty much everything of what we do. It changes how we watch, how we share, what we buy, how we interact, what we like. All these different influences also come with tremendous amounts of choice. And we all have our favorites and they're all out there. And it's pretty mind-blowing how many options there truly are and how much time we actually spend online. It's just crazy. But at the heart of all of the online video boom is YouTube. And YouTube has over 2 billion, with a B, monthly logged in users, and everyday people watch over 1 billion hours and generate billions of views, all with B's. Massive, massive numbers in YouTube. A lot of people also aren't aware that YouTube is actually the 2nd largest search engine in the world behind Google. It's crazy. Google, YouTube, and yes, we're both. It's okay. So we realized early on that giving people choice was critical, and really especially in the video department. When you are giving people choice, something magical happens. That's when they start to pay attention. That's when they start to actively engage. That's when they're watching and sharing and subscribing. And then they're probably watching some more. So YouTube can help you build your brand by connecting your message with the audience while they're playing, while they're paying attention, right? Get them in the moment. It's that same thing. Be in the moment, be where your customers are that we've been talking about all afternoon. Your audience is already on YouTube. I guarantee it. They already have, whether they realize it or not, whether they're on a smartphone or a tablet or a desktop or maybe even a smart TV, I guarantee you that they have watched YouTube. They're at all hours, all devices, and they're looking for all sorts of information. And here's the bottom line. It's pretty simple. When you get to choose what you want to watch, you pay attention because it matters to you, right? So people really, truly only care about content that is relevant to them. So the next question for you is, how do you translate all these billions of users into customers? How does that equal growth for your business? So before you get started with your channel, kind of very similar to how we kicked off the afternoon at 2, I'm going to ask you to think about your consumer side, right? Think about what role you want video to play in your marketing strategy. I really want you to think about that, because there are lots of good objectives for YouTube presence, but focusing on 1 or 2 are going to give you a much better playlist for creating your channel that's actually going to have success than if you were willy-nilly with the noodles on the wall. So I want you to really kind of consider these next 4 things I'm about to say. Are you trying to build awareness? Meaning, do you want viewers to be able to recall you and recognize? It's more of a branding, right? Your brand, your service, your properties that you're offering after they watch the video. So is that an awareness? Is it maybe more of the influencer side? You're trying to influence consideration, which I would say yes for us realtors, right? Viewers, do you want them to consider purchasing from you after watching from your videos? Yes, right? Are you trying to drive sales? Are you trying to grow loyalty? Are you trying to make sure that your viewers are going to be more likely to recommend you, right? That sustainability piece that we just talked about with analytics. How are you keeping your customers connected to you? So clearly in real estate, sales is like king, right? But it's also influencing. If you can influence a purchase or a lease or a development over your competitor, that's a giant win, right? So that's where we're going for sure. But think about what your secondary one is to you. Now, the other thing that I want us to really walk through before we even get to the agenda is thinking about the consumer process when it comes to real estate and property. Unlike a lot of things in Google or on YouTube, where it's, I see it, I'm going to click it, and I'm going to buy it. We know that's not the case in real estate. Real estate is a significant investment, and it often takes much longer. So let's look at these metrics that I have on this timeline for you and think about it as the actual consumer journey, right? So this is someone who actually wants to buy, and because it's a longer process, these are the kind of things that you might see. So this realtor knows a thing or two about YouTube, and they have started advertising on it, and he puts his message in front of all the people in the Toronto area, and they're all the people in the Toronto area that are in the market of buying a property. Let's narrow it down a little bit. But they haven't decided yet. They don't know where exactly. They don't know what they want. And then the interested user, me, maybe, I'm going to go online first, most likely, right? And Google search. And that realtor appears on top of all the search results. And having seen that brand before because of the YouTube videos, the likelihood of me clicking on that ad is higher, right? So because you're seeing me now repeatedly. So I always like to ask these questions to my audience members here. How many of you watch a video and make a purchase immediately from it versus how many of you search something on Google and purchase from it? Because I'm more likely to do a Google search and purchase than I am to watch a video and purchase. So the video, I think, is where you guys are going to hit that sweet spot. There were lots of questions, comments in the last session about the luxury and the more high-end properties, right? Absolutely. It's definitely a longer term commitment. You're not going to walk in and make a purchase like that. So because of the people being at different stages doesn't mean that you can't be in contact with them, and you can set your marketing to work for you even when you're with someone else at the same time. So here's the agenda for what I want to cover in this section. I want to walk us through creating a home video for your business on YouTube. We're going to talk about achieving your business goals, attracting ideal customers using your channel, measuring the impact, again, using that data, and then how to stream the video using YouTube Live, which is a cool, newer thing. It's getting more and more intuitive with the day. And then again, closing it out with resources. This is clearly where those Skillshop and primer pieces are going to be. So again, for any of you that are joining in new to this hour, just wanted to touch base. Yes, we will be sending out the slides, and yes, we are recording the session. So let's go ahead and get started with how to actually create your business channel. So the first step is to go to youtube.com. Might be the easiest thing to do. I will say this, it is definitely easier to do from a computer or a laptop. Don't try and do these first few steps from your mobile device. You can, but it's a little more clunky. In your top right, you click the sign in. You're going to click create an account, and you choose for yourself or to manage your business. So what I want you to do is remember that you need a Google account to sign into YouTube. So your Google account is, if you have a Gmail account, you have a Google account. If you have a Google account, you have a YouTube sign in. Piece of advice though, I really want you to have a Google account that is only for your business, because you don't want to mar the lines between your personal account or your business account, right? So after signing in for YouTube or signing up for Google or signing in with your Google account, then you can jump ahead. And then a couple of other notes just before I go any deeper. It's recommended to create a new business channel where you only host your business related content, right? Because again, those personal and professional lines can get blurred. So be very clear on that. I have seen way too many times accidental use of personal YouTube channels for a business purpose, and that can sometimes get a little sticky. So one other piece of advice as you're getting started in creating your channel, do your market research, which for you guys, I would tell you to look at the YouTube channels of other realtors similar to you, or maybe they're similar to you, but not in your area, that you're looking in a different geographical location so that you can kind of borrow their feel, or you can go, oh, I don't like that, or ooh, that looks good, right? You're garnering your list of ideas and generating a starting point for you as you're gathering this information. So the next step is for you to type your channel name, and most likely this will be the name of your business, right? Or the name of yourself, because you are the brand, right, as a realtor. And then you're going to upload your profile photo here on this next step. This could also be a logo if you're doing this for your brokerage, it's not you as an independent. It could also be perhaps the image of the property that you're selling. If you're trying to develop a YouTube channel that's all about one particular development, that might be the way to go here. Do remember that when people are watching your videos, they will see your profile picture next to your channel name too, so be cautious of that. And then the next thing to do is to tell people about your channel. So use the channel description, because your description is most likely going to show up in the search results as well, and is also visible in the About tab in your YouTube channel. So it'll be there. And you also want to add your website URL, and also I would include any social links that you want to share, because those will also show up in the About tab, and it's a great way to cross promote yourself in different places. Okay, the next step is actually doing the creation itself. So now you need to tell your viewers about your channel. Your description is going to show up in search results, as I just mentioned, and your URL and your social links. And then we're going to customize it some more. So in this screen, this is where you're going to personalize all your extra details. So basically what I want you to do when you're setting this up is just follow the prompts. There are prompts set up when you're getting this established, and that will be the easiest way. So channel art is what shows as a background or a banner on the top of your YouTube page. And you can use it to either match your brand, or you can give it a unique feel, right? Your little personality coming through where you're actually connecting with your customer. What you do want to do is make sure that your channel art you want to check how it looks on both types of devices, both on mobile devices and on computers, and maybe even on TV displays now, because we're into smart TVs. That's some of the newer stuff. Speaking of the TV displays, larger images might be cropped when it comes to channel art. So the best result, I'm going to give you the upload size. They're looking for images that are 22,560, 2560 by 1440 pixels. Pixels are the measurement for photos and images. And then your next section of your channel art is to add sections to help organize your video. So you can organize these videos so that your content shows up in the way that you actually want them highlighted, right? So you can make decisions about what to watch, and you can have up to 10 different sections on one channel. Also important to note. And to upload videos after you get it going, then you're going to click on the little video icon that's up in the top right. And then I'm going to touch on YouTube Live, which is the other part of that button at the end of this presentation. We have a whole section on YouTube Live. And then you're going to continue to customize live. And the one thing that I wanted to point out here, this is Divas Can Cook. She's got a fully developed and organized page, really set up in a nice chunk. So you can see her home, videos, playlists, community channels. I'll talk all about those coming up. But I really wanted to point out the video channel trailer here for you, because hers is really good. So I want to talk into the best practices about creating video that are going to actually get you where you want to go. Everybody's got a smartphone nowadays, so that means that everybody has access to a video camera. A couple of things when you're taking it into play and getting ready for your videos, right? You don't need an entire team of people to create a high quality video, but you do need to practice a little bit, and you do need to think about things in terms of where you're set up and the sound and the lighting and the space and the details that you might miss. And I'm going to give you some tips on those going forward too. So the other thing that I want to point out here when we're talking about creative is that YouTube is not a platform where only the big brands are. You don't have to be the Nike or the Coca-Cola or the L'Oreal or the, you just don't have to. Anybody can do this, and your video will go a long way. So best practices when it comes to actually shooting your video is think about, again, I want you to, I'm big on thinking ahead of time, right? You can see that by now with me. What is the purpose of your video? What are you actually trying to do? Are you trying to show how wonderful it is? Are you trying to sell it? Are you trying to rent it? Are you trying to make people picture themselves there on that property or in that home? Will it inspire people to feel good about your brand, right? Does it match your brand? Is your brand a little bit more fun and edgy, or is it a little more conservative and more put together? So things to think about as you're putting all that together. A couple of more kind of points to keep in mind when you're creating your video is, what story do you want to tell? What point of view are you using on this? And who are the stars? Are you the star, or is your customer the star? Or maybe a potential customer, but I would actually use your real customers too. If you're going to use a focus, it's a great way, again, for that retention and that sustainability touch that you can have there. So the other thing to think about is your editing portion, right? So some of the things you can think about, what might you do with, one shot to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Well, what's the process for your service? What would it look like if I wanted to buy a property from you, or I wanted to do a lease? Do a video to walk me through the process so that I can understand what to expect, right? You can obviously do the virtual tours of properties. That's the first thing I thought of in real estate. My Lord, the amount of video you can do is just amazing. It's really great. On the content side, again, thinking about your messaging, very clear and concise. What do you want to say? And you really have to go for the strong first impression in the first 5 to 15 seconds. And I would even say 15 seconds is pretty long, because if you're not catching me really quick, it's very much like an email or a website. If I'm not seeing what I want right away, I'm going to move on to something else. So start with the good stuff. Don't build up to it. Start with the good and keep it going good. But you've got to catch them in those first few seconds. And then you have ideas for the content and the narrative for your video story, but think it through from your consumer's point of view. and think about how you're going to use that to guide your customers through the process with your brand, right? And again, kind of the same thing as I said with social media, I would apply to YouTube as well. You don't want this to be an overt sales pitch for the most part, because it definitely can be, right? But you definitely want to present that option and that opportunity. That's absolutely what it's all about. So some quick tips for shooting your video. But make sure the space is free of clutter. Obviously, you need to think visually, show your logo and your workplace in the video as well. If you can strategically place it somewhere so that it's a very subtle mention of your logo, or a site mention, if you will. Natural light is always better. Always try and face your source too, and watch for shadows. Listen to the space. Make sure you're using a microphone. If you are going to be doing videos that you're going to put on an actual YouTube channel, you can buy Bluetooth microphones that connect to your phone very quickly and easily. Use it. It helps. It definitely helps with the volume and the clarity of it. And speak confidently. I can't say that enough. The other two tricks that I think are the best ones for creating really good videos is, I already told you, I want you to do a trial video, right? You're going to have to do it a couple of times when you're creating it. It's not usually going to be the perfect one right out of the gate. Sometimes, hopefully, maybe, but not usually. Usually it takes a couple of shots. So you do the trial video. Once you have your trial video complete, and hopefully you've done it like a dry run, exactly as you want it presented, I want you to watch it with no sound. So turn your volume way down or mute it and just watch it, because you're going to catch things that you wouldn't have caught because you were distracted by the voice. And vice versa. I want you to then play it a second time. And I want you to turn the sound on, but not watch the video, so that you can really get paying attention on inflection and tone and background noises that are obnoxious. Did someone swear inadvertently in the background that you don't want, right? Something that you really need to catch. Those are just two really good ways to think outside the box and look at your information in a different view. So the next chunk here is organizing our channel to attract our viewers. Depending on what you're searching for, they might see your channel first, but they also might see your video first, because some viewers are going to find your channel before they actually watch the video, because they're doing online marketing activity. So maybe you're running an ad, or maybe it's a link that I'm coming back to you, right? So I'm going straight to your channel. But other people are going to discover you because they watch something that's related. So then you're being a referral video. Something to think about as we're moving forward into our well-organized channels, right? So we get them into the channel. Best pieces of advice are kind of right on the screen. Again, using the Divas Can Cook as an example, give you engaging and relevant channel art at the top, the helpful description, which absolutely should involve keywords and will help you with your SEO. Your channel will also have the ability for your video trailer, which I want you to watch a few of those and see what they look like. It's a short snippet. It's just like a movie trailer. And then on the bottom, that shows you where you can group your videos by playlist, which we'll dig into a little bit longer. So here's the step-by-step here as we move forward, how to actually upload your video. You're going to click the create button next to the camera in the upper right-hand side of the screen. And then once you've uploaded your video, this is where the details come. And just like I would say any other time, the devil is in the details. This is what's going to make it or break it for you. So make your title something that people are actually likely to look for, right? Again, thinking like your potential audience member. How-tos are always great, but I don't know that I would necessarily overuse that as well. What you do want to do is avoid very generic lines like first quarter development update. Like that means nothing to me as a consumer, right? Show me the penthouse view, or what makes this one different than that one, so that I can pick what I like. And then you're going to add your description. Again, descriptions include your keywords that can help boost not only your view time and your watch time, but it may also help you show up in search results when people are searching. A reminder again that YouTube is the second largest search engine, right behind Google. YouTube will pull 3 screenshots from your video for 3 potential thumbnails. That's this next section. If you don't like them, you can upload your own image or your own graphic and use those instead. This is where you would flop that out. If you don't select this, it will pick the 3 on its own for you. So this is where you really get to get customizable and a little more professional. And then you select what playlist you want this to be a part of. And then one thing to note too, if you're doing stuff that has kids, I just have to say this disclaimer in here when I give this presentation. I know it doesn't really relate to you as the audience, but there are special rules and regulations for videos that have a kids audience. So if you are doing a video, maybe you are doing a video on kids as related to a sales pitch for family product properties. So actually, this is really good that I'm saying it. But if your video is for kids, you need to make sure that you are in compliance with YouTube's regulations. So Google that to get all the details on it. I just want to make sure that we're very clear. They're very specific. So after you've added your video details, the next spot is where we're going to talk about end screens and cards. So end screens can be added to the last 5 to 20 seconds of a video. You can use them to promote other videos. You can encourage visitors to subscribe. You can point them to your website. You can give them your phone number to call you. You can get creative. One thing to note, your video has to be at least 25 seconds long in order to have an end screen attached to it. Okay, so 25 seconds at least a video to put an end screen on it. And then cards are to make your videos more interactive. So they can have polls, they can have links to other channels, they can do all sorts of other things. You don't have to do these 2 elements, but they can help keep you standing out from your competition. I'm losing my words here. So next is, who do you want to have access to your video? And now we're on the who, the visibility portion. So there are 3 visibility options. There is public, unlisted, or private. Public videos can be seen by absolutely anyone on YouTube. Unlisted videos and playlists can be seen and shared by anyone with the link, but they don't show up in search. So if you want to be found by search, you want public. Unlisted is with the link, but not show up in search. And private is only to the people that you choose to see it. So let's say, like, my children created a YouTube montage for my dad for Christmas of cool, we did like an interview kind of thing that was in our private channel. So that only he can access it and watch it, and me, because it's really cool. And then you want to select your scheduling date. So you're going to select the date that you want to make it public and select next. And then once your video is published, this is where you're going to start spreading the word. So you can share your video pretty much anywhere, right? Social media, email, websites. Be proactive about it. And one other pro tip, if you are going to share video in an email, emails with videos in them are 90% more likely to be opened. Yes, you heard me correctly. 90% more likely to be opened. However, you have to tell them that there's a video in it, otherwise they don't know to open it, right? So you need to mention the video in the subject line. Little pro tip there from my email days for you. So learning how people are engaging with your videos, of course, YouTube analytics, perfect segue from our last presentation. All your basics on how you're holding attention and seeing activities are actually working. Is it doing what you want it to do? I hope it is. Now this last section, as I know we're getting close, are all about the advanced strategies. And this might be my favorite part. So in this section of presentation, I was supposed to have videos. And so I pulled the videos out because of our video problems in our playbacks. So the last slide, I added quick links to the main one, and there's lots more you can just Google. Again, search in YouTube to find other videos. What are they doing? What do you like? What do you not like? What's attractive to you? Again, making use of your customers too. What are they following? What are they liking? What would appeal to them? All things that you need to think about. So the first is that advertising. Again, a perfect segue from our last presentation. You can definitely advertise on YouTube. I'm going to send you to youtube.com/ads to learn more, but I want to kind of give you some quick hits, if you will. So I took some notes. I'm actually going to read these because I actually wrote them out for you, so it would be good. So if you're going to choose to pay to reach more people on YouTube, then I want you to kind of have a little more oomph behind you. So connecting with the people who matter to you is that you don't need to get your ad in front of everyone, just the people that are likely to be interested in what you have to offer. And that's where advertising can help you out, because you can dial in on demographics, especially. You only pay when they watch your video ad. I actually think YouTube ads are some of the best ads that you can purchase through the Google family. There's a lot of flexibility in them, and creativity that comes with it is pretty significant. And you can see how you're doing and what to improve. You can get real-time insights about how people are actually responding to your video, so you'll know how long they're actually watching. Do they die off at a certain time? Are they sharing it? Are they not? And then I want to point out the 5 different ad formats for you. So, and these are the notes I actually took down in here. So there are in-stream ads, there are video discovery ads, there are out-stream ads, and there are non-skippable in-stream ads, and there are bumper ads. And I'm going to go through each of those individually. And yes, I am reading this slide, and I want to be clear that I'm reading my notes for you on this one, because some of these changes just came through literally in the last couple of days. So in-stream ads run before, during, or after other videos on YouTube, on the display network, on games, or in apps. Ads can also run on YouTube videos embedded on other websites. After 5 seconds, the viewer can skip the ad. Okay, so that's an in-stream ad. Video discovery ads appear on YouTube only, and they are seen in places where people discover content. So if I'm just doing a search and it's like the stuff over on the right-hand side of a YouTube page, where I'm like, this one, oh, that one looks good, I'm gonna watch that. That's your video discovery ad. An outstream ad shows on partner sites. So these ads are available on mobile devices and mobile tablets. Non-skippable in-stream ads are 15 seconds or less. I'm going to say this one again. Non-skippable in-stream ads are 15 seconds or less, and as the label suggests, viewers can't skip it. Okay, non-skippable. The last one is the bumper ads. Bumper ads are designed to increase your brand awareness, and they are just 6 seconds or less, and viewers cannot skip them. Okay, 6 seconds or less, and they are not skippable. So our YouTube video formats have been built for all transactions and attention spans, as you can see, and I'm back to not reading my slides. I wanted to make sure that I covered all of those for you, though, so that you have those. So the next section is that most people can use a smartphone or a computer or a webcam to create content for YouTube Live. You don't need any special equipment. This is really cool. This is also fairly new to me, but the stuff that is really in here is impactful and large. And it's really making a significant hit. And I think this is kind of where, if you were with us earlier, you heard me talking about TikTok and why TikTok is becoming so popular. It's that video interaction that are helping people stay connected. And I can't think of a more powerful time to be using video to stay connected than in this pandemic that we're in right now. So I want to talk on this side to a little bit more about intent-based targeting, or maybe interest-based targeting is what I would call it. So last year, Google introduced advanced audiences, and they made updates to existing affinity and in-market segments to make them even stronger. And what they really did is they introduced 2 new targeting features, and these are the ones that I really like. The first is life events, and these reach people that are hitting major milestones. So people who are getting married, people who are moving, maybe they're graduating, right? It's a life event. And the other is consumer patterns. So these are the ones that are actually reaching out by someone who frequents the grocery or department store shoppers or restaurant goers, right? So somebody who's a frequent person in a pattern that is identifiable. So campaigns that use both of these have 20% higher ad recall lift and a 50% higher brand awareness lift than campaigns that use demographic targeting. So I will be a proponent of demographic targeting until the day I die, because I think that you can be so direct and so clear in who I'm trying to connect to and who I'm trying to get to, and especially because I'm a data person, so I know who my target audience is. But this is a whole nother level, right? If I can get to 50% higher brand awareness because of a live event, yeah, that's a big deal. So super powerful data that's coming out of all of this. So here is my intro to live streaming for you. So there are two kinds of advanced live streams. There are public live streams and there are unlisted live streams. So public means that they are viewable to anyone with the live URL, channel subscribers, or through search, literally public. Unlisted is viewable to anyone with the live's URL only. So if you only wanted, say, your subscribers to watch it, you could share it. Or you only wanted your family to see you do it, you could do that. If you wanted to host a webinar on YouTube, you could do that too, right? So it's an easy way to reach your audience in real time. So whether you're doing it on a video game or you're trying to host a Q&A or you're giving a virtual product or excuse me, property tour, lots of tools that can help you manage it in real time. The nice thing about live too is that you can do, say, that virtual tour. So how about hosting a YouTube live to do a product showing when your customers can't come in right now because of social distancing or restrictions that are in place because of this pandemic, right? Perfect for live streaming. So this is a way to think about doing that. And you can do live Q&A sessions. It would be like hosting a virtual open house, right? Where you can be there and you can show all the stuff, and I like this feature, and this kitchen's got this, and there's this car washing station or a dog washing capability over here, right? So it's all ways that you can do that. Again, I talked about the public and the unlisted. I want to be very clear about those two different options when you're going through. So expert interviews is another way that I thought would probably be a good way to use YouTube Live, as well as the live events, which obviously we're going to get back to live events. I just don't know when that's going to be. So to get started, to do live, I wanted to do a step-by-step because I think that's more important than anything. Once you have your channel set up, which is your first step, then you have to enable YouTube Live. Now here's the key. You have to enable live feature, which is by clicking on the button in the top right, the little red dot, at least 24 hours before you do your first live stream. So you need to know that. Go to studio.youtube.com, click on the go live, that will enable it, and then you have to wait 24 hours before you can go live the first time. I learned that the hard way. Thought I'd share that little tidbit with you. So now that you have that done and you're 24 hours later, you have a couple of different ways that you can go live. So when you are signed into your YouTube account, you can either click the go live icon, which is up in the top right, or if you're in your YouTube account, you can click on the video camera icon, which we saw on the previous screen. Either way will get you there to go live. So a couple of things that you need to do to prepare yourself to go live. So you want to fill out the title and the privacy settings, of course. And then when you click next, I want you to know this. This last little piece is a big one. Smile for the thumbnail, because what will happen when you click next, your camera will turn on and it will take a screenshot of you to use as your YouTube live thumbnail. So don't be like in process or your head tracked or your ponytail askew. Make sure that you've got your full public face on that you want to be seen when you click on that button. So now that I've talked about setting up your channel and creating the content and some best practices and how to go live, you know me and data now, I want you to know how to measure the impact. So let's talk about that. This is where I give you some extra help here. So you can work with trained and trusted creative partners to help you with especially your video advertising, right? So youtube.com/ads/making a video ad. Give you lots of help and assistance there. The next one is Creator Academy, and this is really for whether you're just starting out or whether you are looking for ways to improve your channel. It will help you with free online education all about YouTube specifically. So this is where you go, Creator Academy, my.youtube.com. And again, these are all on my last resource slide as we get going there. Google Primer, as I mentioned, Primer is good for all sorts of marketing advice. So if you want to sharpen your business and your marketing skills, you can check out Primer. It's a free app for your phone, both in Google Play and the App Store. So it doesn't matter which device you're using, it's all good. They're a series of short, fun lessons. They're all less than 5 minutes. I actually do them on a regular basis and I find them quite enjoyable, actually. They're pretty fun. Sometimes it's just good freshening up and sometimes you're learning something new. And then Skillshop is where I was talking earlier about where you can actually get more in-depth training on Google's professional tools. So if you really want to dive in and become the expert, this is where I would send you. For those of you that are familiar or have been certified in the past through Google, it used to be called Academy for Ads. Skillshop is the new one-stop shop for all of that. So you can get training in Google Ads, Google Analytics, Google My Business, obviously YouTube as well. So there is information broken down also in beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels, and it's all free of charge as well. So resources to get you more help. And then as a cliff note, to wrap it all up and bring us all in to the end of today with our end of our YouTube presentation is I want you to be able to find more valuable information with your advanced audiences using things like the custom intent audience stuff. I want you to be able to create and upload videos that are fun, that are engaging, that are attractive to customers so that it's helping you with your sales and your leasing and your development process that you're in as a realtor. And then I encourage you, please, no matter whether it's for YouTube or it's for any of the other things that we talked about today, explore additional resources. There are tons and tons and tons of resources available online for you to create more. And we have reached the official end. So I'm going to leave this page up. I have a video, the video example is actually of a dog partner, and it just kind of just shows how they did a video to help kind of promote their thing. I thought that was a great example in terms of using YouTube advertising. And then here's all the links for all of those URLs that I just discussed, the creative partners, the academy, the primer, and the Skillshop. I'm going to go ahead and turn my video back on. Isaac, are you still with us too? I'm not sure if you are. If you are, I'd love to have you back there. And I'm going to pop out the questions as well, because I had those tucked away. See what else we can cover really quick if there were any that were big ones. Okay. Can I do a live stream if I have less than 1,000 subscribers? Yes, you can. Don't you need like 10,000 subscribers to do a YouTube live? No, not anymore. These are the changes that literally came through. I got some updates this morning. We can't see it. Let's see. How to find. Nope, that one's not this one. Okay, I think that's all the questions that are popping in. So I know that there were some from earlier, and I'm sorry I didn't get to them. I think we covered as many as we can, but as promised, we are recording this. We will send out the slides. So I want to thank you guys. You have hundreds, literally hundreds of you. So fun. Have been on for hours with us this afternoon.
I certainly learned a lot today, and things like Google and YouTube, there's things that we deal with and we see and through our phones and our computers all the time, but yet, behind it, there's so much mechanics and so many things that you can do with it. So it's been a great pleasure to be able to organize this with the team and be able to kind of get in touch with you so that you can speak to us as well as our audience. And so it's been a tremendous good exercise. And on top of that, with this last session, YouTube, for us, we're going to be the session that's being recorded. It's going to be on YouTube, along with some of the videos that was being played over intermission. So you can find that over either on the Concord YouTube channel, as well as on our Talk On website, which will be hosting this sessions YouTube over YouTube as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Thank you
again,
for having me. I appreciate
thank you very much. And I guess, Erin, I guess this concludes our today's webinar session, right?
It does. I can quit.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks all. Have a great day. We're going to end the sessions now, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you.